Mr. Schumer.
Tens of millions of Americans who will have their costs go up, whether they're in the exchange or not. If ACA is repealed,
the Democratic leader is not in order.
I vote no.
Mr. Schumer.
Debate is not in order during a vote.
No.
Debate is not in order during a vote. Gentleman from Illinois.
I recorded. On behalf of the downstate hospitals of Illinois, I vote no.
Debate is not in order during a vote.
Mr. Durbin? No. Mrs. Murray?
Debate is not in order during a vote.
Mrs. Murray? No. Ms. Stabenow?
Debate is not in order during a vote. Debate is not in order during a vote. The Senate will be in order.
Ms. Stabenow? No.
How am I recorded? On behalf of elderly people who cannot afford higher prescription drugs, I vote no.
Mr. Sanders? Mr. Sanders? No.
Mr. President,
Mr. Leahy?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
I join my colleague from Vermont, and I vote no.
Mr. Leahy? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Nelson?
I vote no.
Mr. Nelson? No. Mrs. McCaskill?
Because there is no replace.
Debate
I vote no.
Allowed during debate.
McCaskill?
The vote.
No.
Madam President,
Mr. Cardin?
on behalf of the people of Maryland, I vote no.
Mr. Cardin? No.
How am I recorded? On behalf of 700,000 Ohioans who are losing their insurance, I vote no.
Debate is not allowed during a vote.
Mr. Brown? No.
Clerk, how am I recorded?
Ms. Cantwell?
This is not
Debate is not allowed
as
during a
usual.
vote.
You are
Debate,
stealing
the Senate will be in
health care
order.
from
Debate,
Americans. I
the
vote
Senate will
no.
be in order.
Ms. Cantwell? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Kane?
when I was sick, you visited me.
Debate
I
is
vote
not
no.
allowed during a vote. The Senate will be in order.
Mr. Kane? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mrs. Shaheen?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of hundreds of thousands of New Hampshire
Senate will be in order. Debate is not allowed
patients
during a
who
vote.
need health
Debate
care,
is not
I vote
allowed
no.
during a vote.
Mrs. Shaheen? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Heinrich?
how am I recorded?
The Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of all the children of New Mexico,
Debate is
gain
not allowed
coverage
during a vote.
for
The Senate will
Medicaid
be in order.
expansion,
Debate is not allowed.
I vote
The Senate
no.
will be in order.
Mr. Heinrich? No.
Madam Clerk, how am I recorded?
Mr. Donnelly?
The Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the people of
Debate is not allowed during a vote. The Senate will be in order.
Mr. Donnelly? No. Mr. Sessions? Mr. Sessions? Aye. Ms. Klobuchar?
The Senator is not recorded.
Because there is no plan in the alternative, I vote
The
no.
Senate will be in order.
Ms. Klobuchar? No.
Madam Clerk,
Ms. Baldwin?
how am I recorded?
The Senator is not recorded.
I vote no because the people of
Debate is
Wisconsin
not
did
allowed
not
during a
send
vote.
me
The
here
Senate
to
will be
take
in
away
order.
their health
Debate
care.
is not allowed during a vote.
Ms. Baldwin? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Merkley?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
Madam Clerk, because repeal
Debate
and
is not
run
allowed during a
will
vote.
hurt
The Senate will be in order.
hundreds of
The Senate will be in
thousands
order.
of Oregonians.
Debate is not allowed during
I
a vote.
vote no.
The Senate will be in order.
Mr. Merkley? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Coons?
how am I recorded?
The Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of 50,000 Delawareans
Debate is not allowed during a vote. The Senate will be in order.
repeal without
The
replace,
Senate will be in
I
order.
vote no.
Debate is not allowed during a vote.
Mr. Coons? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Tester?
how am I recorded?
The Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the 69 hospitals in
Debate is not
Montana,
allowed
I
during a
vote
vote.
no.
The Senate will be in order.
Mr. Tester? No.
Madam Clerk,
Ms.
how am I
Duckworth?
recorded?
The Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the 1.2
Debate
million
is not allowed
Illinoisans who will
during a vote. The
lose
Senate will be in order.
health insurance with this
Debate
repeal of the
is not allowed.
ACA,
The Senate will be in
and
order.
for all those with pre-existing
The Senate will be in
conditions,
order.
I
Debate
stand
is
on
not allowed
prosthetic
during a
legs
vote.
to vote no.
Senate will be in order.
Ms.
Madam Clerk?
Duckworth? No. Mr. Casey?
How am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
I vote no on behalf of the children of Pennsylvania.
Mr. Casey? No.
Madam Clerk,
Ms. Cortez Masto?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the thousands of Nevadans who will lose health care, I vote
Debate is
no.
not allowed during the vote.
Ms. Cortez Masto? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Schatz?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
I vote no on behalf of people who need mental health
Debate is not allowed during the vote.
Mr. Schatz? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mrs. Gillibrand?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
I vote no on behalf of all the women who need health.
Senator is not. Debate is not allowed during the vote.
Mrs. Gillibrand? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Murphy?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
This is cruel and inhuman.
The Senate will be in order. Debate is not allowed
vote
during
no.
a vote. Senate will be in order.
Mr. Murphy? No.
Madam Clerk, how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the thousands of New Hampshire residents
Debate
who
is
are
not allowed
suffering
during a
from
vote. The
addiction
Senate will
who
be in
will
order.
lose treatment, I vote
Debate
no.
is not allowed during a vote.
Ms. Hassan?
Madam
No.
Clerk,
Ms. Hirono?
How am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the 200,000 seniors
Debate
in
is not
Hawaii on
allowed during the vote.
Medicare, I vote no.
Senate will be in order.
Ms. Hirono? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Warner?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the children of the Commonwealth of Virginia, I vote no.
Mr. Warner? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Blumenthal?
Madam Clerk, how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
Madam Clerk, on behalf of all the people who
Debate is
have
not
been
allowed
mentioned
during
here
a vote.
tonight and all who will be
Senate will be in order. Senate will be in
people
order.
of Connecticut, I vote.
Debate is not allowed during a vote.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Blumenthal? No. Mr. Wyden?
because health care should not just be for the healthy and wealthy.
Senate will be in order. Debate is not allowed during a vote.
Mr. Wyden? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Whitehouse?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of 14-year-old
Debate is not
Charlie
allowed during a vote.
in
Senate will be in
Woonsocket,
order.
Rhode Island,
Debate is
who
not allowed
suffers from
during a debate. Senate will be in order.
neuropfibromatosis and can stay on his parents'
Debate is
policy
not
until he's
allowed.
26
Senate will be in order.
and cannot be denied health care for
Clerk will
his
continue to call the
pre-existing
roll.
condition.
Debate is not allowed. The clerk will continue
I
to call the
vote
roll.
no.
Mr. Whitehouse? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Reed?
for the people of Rhode Island, I vote no.
Mr. Reed? No.
Madam Clerk,
Mr. Franken?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
I vote no on behalf of the more than
Debate is not allowed during
2.3
a vote.
million
Debate
Minnesotans
is not allowed
who
during
can
a
no
vote.
longer
Senate will be in
be
order.
discriminated
Senate will be in
against
order, and the clerk will continue the roll.
because of the ACA.
The Senate will be in order.
Mr. Franken? No.
Madam Clerk,
Ms. Warren?
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
Madam Clerk, on behalf of the
Debate is not allowed
Republicans
during a
and
vote. The Senate will
Democrats
be in
who
order.
worked for a
Debate is
decade
not
in
allowed. Senate will be in
Massachusetts
order.
to bring health care to
Senator is out of order.
97% of our
The
people,
senator is out of
I
order.
vote no.
Senator may vote. The senator is out of order.
Madam
Ms.
Clerk?
Warren? No. Mr.
Madam
King?
Clerk, how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
My conscience compels me to vote
Debate is
no.
not allowed during a vote. Senate will be in order.
Mr. King? No.
Madam Clerk, how am I recorded?
Ms. Harris?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the 5 million Californians
not
who will be
allowed to
stripped of
vote.
their right to have
Senate will
health
be in
care, my
order.
vote is no.
Senator may vote. The clerk will call the roll.
Harris? No.
Mr. President,
Mr. Manchin?
Mr. President, on behalf of the great people of West Virginia.
Debate is not allowed during the debate.
Mr.
During the vote.
Manchin? No.
Mr. President, how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
President, on behalf of the people of Michigan, over 800,000 that'll be
Debate is
using
not
their
allowed
insurance
during a vote.
repealed, I
Senate will
vote
be in
no.
order. Senate will be in
Mr.
order.
Peters? No.
President,
Mr. Udall?
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
I vote no because this will hurt
Debate
the
is not allowed. The
citizens
Senate
of
will
New
be in order.
Mexico, and the
Senate will be in
Republicans have no
Senate
plan.
will be in order.
No plan.
Senate will be in order.
Mr. Udall, no.
Mr. President,
Mr. Van Hollen,
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
Because it is wrong
Senator
to
will
repeal
suspend.
and
Debate
run,
is not
I
allowed
vote
during
no.
a vote. Senator will suspend.
Mr. Van Hollen, no.
Madam Clerk, how am I recorded?
Mr. Markey, not recorded.
Senator is not recorded.
Madam Clerk, I wish to be recorded no for the millions who will lose
Debate is not allowed during a vote.
coverage
Senator will suspend.
for their
Senators may vote, but we'll suspend the debate.
Mr. Markey, no. Mr. Bennett,
How am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd vote no on behalf of the children of
Gentleman from
Colorado.
Colorado will suspend.
Mr. Bennett, no.
Mr. President,
Ms. Heitkamp,
how am I recorded?
Senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the thousands of
Senator will
people who
suspend.
receive health care in
Senator will
my
be
state and
order.
rural
Debate is
hospitals,
not allowed.
who know
Vote.
not how they're going to get
Senator will
health care
suspend.
if this
The clerk will continue the
passes
roll vote.
without a replacement, I
Senator
vote
will
no.
suspend.
Ms. Heitkamp, no.
Mr. President,
Mr. Carper,
how am I recorded?
not recorded.
The senator is not recorded.
On behalf of the least of these in Delaware and
Debate is not
America,
allowed during a vote.
I vote no.
Mr. Carper, no. Mr. Menendez,
The senator is not recorded. The senator is not recorded.
Mr. Menendez, no.
Mr. President,
Senator from New Jersey.
how am I recorded?
The senator is not recorded.
I vote no for New Jersey.
Mr. Booker, no.
Is there any senator in the debate in the chamber that wishes to change their vote or vote? On this vote, the yeas are 51, the nays are 48. The concurrent resolution is agreed to.
And as you saw, the